Hello, world. Welcome to the Shah Planet for April 12th, 2022. Ah, man, what a weekend. So it's Tuesday, it's April 12th. And for those of you who've been watching, listening, either live or on recorded, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you for all of the feedback that I've been getting. I know that this is working because I think I have some haters now too. And that's how you know that I've totally made it. It hasn't been haters on my rap, although I do get some comments on that and maybe on a cowboy hat here and there and too. But today, I'm especially happy because over the weekend, we had that Fed and Shred event that I've been telling you folks about. And it was amazing. But it also sort of brought my attention to a little bit about what else is going on right now with respect to tax prepping and tax planning. So, quick story about this. Pinky and I get this call, and it turns out that she and I have to run to a bank the morning of our Fed and Shred event. And we had a food truck lined up for this, and there's going to be all this good food there, but we have to run out. So I don't grab breakfast that morning. And because I'm starving, I kind of just get to the event. And then, when you're hosting an event, you got to set up. So we're doing all this setup when we get there. And as we do this setup, I don't really get a chance to eat anything. And then as people are starting to show up, I'm excited to see our clients, our friends, and I don't really get a chance to eat anything until we get closer to the end. Now, when I get closer to the end, what do I start doing? I eat the truffle fries. I eat the crispy avocado tacos, which were fried. I get a bite of a burger. I get definitely this fried mac and cheese, which was epic, by the way. So I'm eating all this stuff, and I'm nom 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 nom, and then I step on the scale the next day, and I'm not happy with the results because spring is here, and I'm ready for this beach body that I've been working so hard to dream about. So I'm excited about this whole thing, but I stepped on the scale, and the results aren't there. And here's the thing: in 6 days, people have their tax returns due. And unfortunately, this is the approach that a lot of folks are taking to their tax planning. Because what's happening right now, when you file your tax returns on April 18th or by April 18th, or even if you're on extension, here's the thing: that's like me stepping on the scale. It's too late. I've already done the damage, if you will. So, from a tax planning perspective, by the time you file your taxes, it's usually too late. You're done. There might be one or two little things you can do, but that's tax preparation. That's stepping on the scale and seeing what's already happened in the past. And if we look at our taxes, we're basically looking at what happened from an income perspective in the past year. Tax preparation is important. And I've got a lot of friends who are accountants and tax preparation folks and CPAs, and they do a fantastic job with the tax prep. And some of them, but not a lot of them, will do tax planning. Now, what's tax planning? Well, here's the thing. If I knew I had to run to the bank in the morning, and I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to eat, and I knew we were going to set up, and I knew I was going to have these nerves about having everybody come over for our event. And by the way, I'm going to include a link in our comments here to the slideshow for the event. It was awesome, and it was great. Food notwithstanding, but I did enjoy the food actually. So, and for the people who brought their shredding data that needed to be shredded and got them to clean out the house, we got a lot of positive feedback on there too. So, if you're a wealth management client or if you're a law firm client, you keep an eye out for it because we're probably going to be doing this annually as well too. So here's the thing: if I had planned for this better, if I had done tax planning, what would I have done? I probably would have eaten breakfast that morning. Maybe I would have packed a snack. Maybe I would have made sure that I didn't overeat there. I would have managed it a little bit better. Now, from a tax planning perspective, you've got to plan in advance. Now, what are examples of planning that we could do? When we, as wealth managers, as investment advisors, are managing our clients, we review your tax returns throughout the course of the year. We will look at last year's return. We're going to ask you about projections for this year. We're going to ask about transition events. Is somebody retiring? Are we selling a business or a property? Are we expecting to take some capital gains? These are the sort of things. Are we going to make charitable contributions? You've got to do your tax planning throughout the year, just like me failing to actually pack a snack and look at my food earlier in the year. You pack your snack, you do your planning. Are we going to bunch our charitable deductions together? Are we going to contribute to a retirement plan? If we're going to be taking income, which bucket are we going to take income from? When are we going to time some of the gains that we're going to take when we sell something, when we buy something? So if I had planned earlier, I probably would have been happier on the scale. And now here's the good news: I'm getting back to it, and I will get that beach body. well, I guess anybody I get will be a beach body, but it might just take a little bit more time. It might take a little more effort. You do your tax planning throughout the course of the year. When you're doing your investments, when you're handling your estate plan, when you're handling the insurances and the annuities that you have, when you're making your financial and your life plans, the planning happens before the actual act of engaging and before the act of actually filing that tax return, before the act of actually retiring. All right. So it's a long way to go. And I apologize if I ruined truffle fries or avocado tacos or hamburgers or cheeseburgers with bacon for anybody. I don't think it's possible, by the way. They were awesome. Again, huge thank you for everybody who made it out to the event. For those of you who are clients right now, we have another event that we're planning in June. So keep an eye out for that. We also have an educational event coming up soon. And the way that we might be doing this is as a recorded webinar and then pushing it out there to folks so that they actually have it. But it's going to be more of a quarterly recap for the last quarter. So keep an eye out for that as well. You definitely are connected with me on social media. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. But if you want to be on our newsletter list and you're not already, drop us a note. We can get you on the newsletter list too. And you'll get not just this, but some other data and information that we send over to you as well. So if you have somebody who's helping you with your tax planning, this is the time to start planning. Look at your 2021 return and see what the income sources were, and then use that to project for 2022, and then figure out what strategies, which tools make sense. Things like charitable funds or RMDs management or family tax bracket management. There's about 50 or 60 things that you should be, or your advisor should be looking at. And then you can whittle it down into the ones that actually work for you. I will see everybody next week. Happy Holy Week for everybody who celebrates. I know it's a fantastic week. I know we'll have some kids home for spring break. So I hope everybody out there is taking a little bit of a mental relaxation break. And remember, if anything comes up, we're here for you. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.